do what I want. Candy cane with the white on top. Lambo doors or the woo up drop. If you busy plotting on what I got, kick in your door and swat you thought. $100,000 on the tabletop. Half price my whip, same price my watch. Got no temper, but I bought a lot. Bitch on your stony, I do what I want. Didn't know that was your girl when she gave me top. Kicked her out the road, said thanks a lot. Goddamn, I love paper like a Michael Scott.
This is your co-host, John Sticker, and my other co-host,
Stephen Cockerham.
And we are here to deliver the sports news. We're excited. We missed Tuesday, our normal one, but I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to get out the same stuff.
Yep.
It's been a pretty good week as far as sports goes. Pretty exciting. I'm excited to talk about it. We're getting into NFL gear, which I'm excited about.
48 days away?
Yep.
49?
We're almost there, so that's exciting. I know everyone loves the NFL. So.
Yep.
And we had the NBA season was fun for a while, but fizzled out at the end. But because of that, we're going to start with some NBA, get that out of the way. First things first, so obviously the big Kawhi Leonard DeMar trade. Kawhi Leonard went to Toronto Raptors. Literally the complete opposite side of the country than where he wanted to go. So obviously the Spurs are pretty salty about him leaving, especially because they posted, did you see the thing where it said thank you Kawhi, but Kawhi was like darkened to the point where you couldn't even tell. So they're petty as hell. Yep. And then DeMar got sent. Yes, very upset. I mean, he's one of the greatest Raptors. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it's not a great franchise, but he's one of the greatest Raptors to ever play. Yep. And he was told that he wasn't going to be traded no matter what. And then the GM traded him. Yep. Got a better deal in my opinion. Got Kawhi, but Kawhi said they're warming up, but Kawhi could sit the entire time. That's an option now for players. So Spurs might have thought they got away with one. I don't think they did. I think it's going to bite them. DeMar isn't someone you can build around. So Kawhi was, but they pissed him off.
The way I'm thinking, Lakers have a shot at Kawhi or DeRozan next year.
Yeah.
I don't think Kawhi is staying in Toronto. I think this is a one-year stop. I think Kawhi's got it in his head he wants to play for the Lakers. But if for some reason they start gelling and he starts playing again and he's enjoying Toronto, he could stay there and sign a long-term deal.
Yeah.
I think DeRozan's out. DeRozan looks like, look at the Spurs. Like, they're 100% rebuilding. Like, they got nothing.
Yeah, they have. You're absolutely right. And they have Popovich, but only for, I think, a couple more years. They don't have it. They have DeMar. That's pretty much it. That
is it.
They have a couple of role players, but nothing special. Nothing that'll make him stay.
No.
So I definitely think that...
both of them are moving next year.
Yeah,
they're both
for sure.
gone.
I think it was a bad trade. I think the Spurs won out, in my opinion, and Toronto's going to... They lost DeMar, and they're going to lose Kawhi. Kawhi said he wants to play in the West. It's either the Clippers, the Lakers, or a contender. That's no one in the East except for the Celtics, and the Celtics can't sign him. Not to money, at least.
Nope.
So Kawhi's leaving. He's going to go... I'm telling you he's going to go to the Lakers. He still might. I mean, it's possible. Now the Lakers could trade with Toronto. That doesn't mean it's his final stop. You know what I mean? But I thought it was interesting. The GM came out and said that it was a miscommunication on DeMar's part.
Yeah, I just watched that today when I got back from work, and they were talking the signing or whatever.
Yeah.
He was talking about how he should have done things better, and he apologized. But I kind of agree. They talked to Winehouse or Winehorse, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
and he said, Brian. He's like, listen. He's like, I get it. He's like, but the NBA's been doing this way for years. He's like, as an owner or a GM, you have to look to the future and to better your team. And I'm sorry. He's like, DeMar DeRozan is a great player, but you just bettered your team. And this is how basketball goes. This is how it's been going for years. You can't be mad at the man for trying to make his team better.
No. And at the end of the day, it's business, and that's the way it's going to go. It's unfortunate, but I don't know. I understood. DeMar can be mad, but nobody's untouchable. You got to remember, there was a point where LeBron was talked about to being traded. Kobe was talked about being traded. A lot of great players are not untouchable. The only one that was like true, there's maybe 5 or 6 that are actually were untouchable, and that was because back then it was franchise, like the Magics, the Kareems, the Jordans, even the Pippins. Like, I don't think Pippen would have ever gotten traded. All of those, the old school, they used to appreciate that one franchise player, the Charles Barkleys. Now it's not like that.
No.
You're a piece in a puzzle, and they can put you wherever you want.
It's chess.
It's the way it goes. But I thought it was interesting to see him. He's still salty about it. I guess I don't blame him. I don't know why anyone would want to stay in Toronto. I mean, no disrespect, but Toronto, sucks. Like, that's not even a fun city.
They're good in the regular season. They flop in the
so
postseason.
bad. It's going to be interesting to see because I don't think they're going to be playoff contenders with Kawhi. I guess we'll see, though. Moving on, more NBA news. A lot of people, after Boogie announced that he was signing with the Warriors, a lot of players called Boogie up and said, hey, pull out. Back out of the deal. You can still come join us. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. A lot of players, not NBA officials, but players were against it. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he did. I mean, yeah, it kind of breaks the system, but that's not his fault. If he wants a ring, go get a ring. That's how you do it. It's not like he's LeBron. He was never going to get a ring on his own.
No,
you know what I mean?
It goes back to the Durant going back to Golden State. How many people were pissed that Durant went to Golden State? Durant went to Golden State to win a title. Guess what? He's now got 2.
Yeah. And he's going to have, who knows, 3, 4.
He's definitely getting a third next year.
Yeah.
Who's stopping them now?
It's actually what a great segue because Magic Johnson went on, I think it was Undisputed or First Take, I'm not sure, one of those shows, and he came in and he said they're not scared of the Warriors and they think that their death lineup can match the Warriors' death lineup. Not even close, because on that death lineup was Lonzo, and I know we shit on Lonzo a lot. He's not a good basketball player. He's just not. His shot's horrible. His vision's okay, but it's nothing like Magic. And he doesn't have the ability to help lead a team. And they're going to put LeBron at the 5, which I don't know how that works. But their death lineup, I thought it was laughable. And the fact that Magic is calling out the Warriors, I don't think that's not wise. Why would you poke the bear? Especially this year. They have Boogie.
Like, that's Magic.
Leave him alone, you know what I mean? Like, just,
he wants to be that fearless GM.
And I get it. That's a bold move, but he doesn't have to play against them. The Warriors can go out there and put on 40 points a game on LeBron and the Lakers, and the Lakers are going to literally be destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know why they would.
It would be a sweep, and it'd be like 128-60 every game.
Oh, yeah. The Warriors are going to be untouchable for the next couple of years. I think it's interesting that Kevin Durant, Draymond, and LeBron were hanging out at nightclubs and shit in L.A. I mean, that's... If anyone's going to leave, I think the Dubs, it's going to be KD. I don't think Draymond would leave. But Kevin Durant would leave to go play...
Klay Thompson, I think, would leave.
Klay, yeah, especially if he goes to the Lakers, because he said he's wanted to play for them.
Yep.
And he liked Luke Walton. That's another thing. Luke Walton was under Steve Kerr. You got to remember that. Mm-hmm. So there's lineage there. So it'll be interesting to see the next couple years. This is a long-term thing. So we'll see.
This is what the Lakers have been waiting for the last, 6 years.
Finally, it's funny. LeBron goes there, and now it's almost like it's a destination. Maybe it would have happened before LeBron. I think it would have. But right now, the way it seems like is all these stars are aligning. And who knows, man? You might get next year, 2 years, you get, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, LeBron, and then who knows? Even with those 3.
Maybe even Boogie.
Even maybe Boogie, especially a healthy Boogie. But... Anyway, I thought that was a good segue. The death lineup, I thought that was a joke. A death lineup is when the Warriors play and they shoot 120, 130 points. So a little bit more. Gordon Hayward came out and said the Celtics are going to beat the Warriors next year. It'll be interesting.
No, it's not going to happen.
I don't think it's going to either. Maybe if they could have got Kawhi, kept Kyrie. If they could keep every piece and add Kawhi, yes. Maybe. Still maybe. But I don't see that happening.
I'm curious to see what the Warriors' record's going to be next year. Do they try and beat their record? Do they really put their mindset into it? Or do they just cruise to the playoffs like they've been doing?
I think they cruise. I don't think they already have the record. If they didn't have the record of 73-9, then maybe. But they do. Like, why push yourself to the brink and then maybe you guys get injured in the playoffs and then bounce? Why do that? You know what I mean? So I don't think so. I think they just coast again. Let Houston have number 1 seed. Oh my God, I almost forgot about this. How about Carmelo goes to the Atlanta Hawks in a 3-team trade. And Carmelo, and I didn't know this, I actually had to research this. Carmelo can literally not play anywhere, and he still gets $27 million. He's being paid not to play. That's insane. That's mind-blowing, in my opinion. Why would he play? Why would you bother playing?
Just retire.
He's not close to any record scoring. He's not going to get a title unless he joins, I hope to God he doesn't join either Houston or the Warriors. He's going to mess up both those teams. But I just thought that was crazy that Atlanta Hawks were so desperate. They're like, we'll take the $27 million. We'll pay him. Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? All right, moving on. I think I only have one or two more things. Big thing, I thought this, I'm glad Aaron's here for it, but they're actually doing a retrial 25 years later for MJ's dad. MJ's dad, there was a murder case. Mm-hmm. I believe it ended up getting thrown out. I'm not sure. I know no one was sentenced, but 25 years later, they're going to do a retrial. That's pretty crazy.
That's gnarly.
I know, it's exciting.
They must have found something.
Oh, yeah, something must have been found, because they wouldn't have pulled that up if it wasn't the case. So
it has to be, like, next to, solid evidence for it to be retried.
Absolutely.
It's double jeopardy.
Yeah, so it's crazy. 25 years later, maybe we get to actually get to the answers. Okay, last thing on NBA, it's a little bit NBA and NFL. It's a good segue to go into NFL. LeBron James is going to own an NBA or an NFL team or both.
They think. Yes.
Oh, well, he said that that's a long-term plan. He wants to be an owner. I think it would be interesting to see. He could do both. I think he could. Like, he's going to have that much money. He signed, like, a multi-billion-dollar contract with Nike over a lifetime, so he's constantly going to have money. So I would do it. If I was LeBron, why wouldn't you? You know, he's not going to get, like, a giant team. It's not like he's going to buy the Lakers or something, but he could probably buy, like, the Bucks or the Kings or something like that.
Basketball. I was like, what the fuck,
no,
man?
Basketball. Or, like, he could probably afford Tampa. I mean, it would be one of those losing teams. Like Detroit, you could buy Detroit now. You could buy the Fords would sell it in a heartbeat. No one wants it, though. But I thought that was interesting. Like, maybe someday, you know.
I could see it. I'm a little skeptical about the football because he doesn't know football.
Yeah.
But I could see him easily buying a team. Maybe buy Charlotte from Jordan and...
I would sell if I was Jordan. I don't look into that stuff, but what has Jordan done with it? I feel like it's tarnishes his legacy a bit, but...
It's an investment. Like,
I guess, but it bugs me that he's such a failure as an owner. And I understand that it doesn't correlate, like being a great basketball player doesn't automatically mean you're a great owner. If anything, it might make you a worse owner, but I just feel like it's kind of a joke, in my opinion. But that's also, I'm not an owner. I have no idea how to build a team. I just wish he was more successful with that. But that's kind of what worries me about LeBron. Because if LeBron gets a team, he's literally following in Jordan's shadow, and it concerns me. Because if he's just emulating what Jordan did. But anyway, moving into the NFL. We got a lot of NFL. Obviously, we're coming up on the season. So I think preseason starts August, right?
Preseason in August.
August. Okay. Okay, blowing up chat. So I need to pull that up. Can you pull it up on your phone? And then we'll be able to at least see what he's saying.
I apologize if the volume's up.
Oh, it's just emojis? He's not saying anything.
Told you.
The first one was high.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
It starts.
It's just emojis? Okay. All right.
Our number one fan. I mean, come on.
Number one
Shout
fan.
out.
Yeah, I actually have your shirt.
That's
in my
right.
car.
Trying
Oh.
to give the message out without me saying anything.
Gotcha. All right, so moving to NFL, Andrew Luck cleared.
Yep.
He's actually going to be back. It looks like
He's
he
ready
has
for
no
training camp.
Yeah, he is ready for training camp. Has no limitations. It's been 2 years, I think.
It's been a year and a half. He got injured mid-season 2 years ago, and then he didn't play at all last year.
So how do you project him? Do you think he's going to come back the same, better, worse?
I think he'll come back the same.
The same?
He's young. He's young. If it was like Peyton Manning age or Brett Favre age or whatever, it might be harder. He's still... What is he? What can someone look it
gotta
up?
be 24,
He's
25.
like, yeah, he's still a very young guy,
I think he's
and
gonna come back. Like he'll get to that point maybe in the middle of the season.
yeah, he ain't gonna come back game one and be the same. He's gonna need some reps, but I think at the end of the next year, he's gonna be just as good as he was.
I don't know if he is. I'm going to go ahead and say that it might be a lot worse than people predict because he had not complete, but he had reconstruction surgery on his shoulder, and he's a quarterback. Like, yeah, he's young, but it's not like he got a knee surgery and he's a quarterback.
He's not that young though, 28. I mean, for a quarterback.
Because he did all 4 years, didn't he, at college? That's why we thought he was
Oh
young.
yeah, because everyone thought he was gonna come out.
Like, that isn't like
Yeah, but he's still
Yeah.
but he's still young to the point where I think he'll be able to bounce back.
I mean, it took him a year and a half to recover. It just concerns me because I know and if history's any guide, every time a quarterback has gotten a shoulder surgery, especially rotator cuff, they've never come back with the same power and accuracy. Maybe he's the one that breaks the mold. I just don't think he will. And on top of that, everyone's going to be expecting that old luck. I don't know if you're going to ever see that again. I really don't. It's kind of like RG3. Remember, everyone was like, he'll be back, and he just never was. He just wasn't the same. Obviously, those are two different injuries, but I don't know. I hope he comes
but
back.
It's kind of almost like the same injury. I know it's different, but like RG3, his legs were his go-to.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Luck is not a mobile quarterback, it's his arm.
Yeah.
So Andrew Luck got his legs taken, or not Andrew Luck, RG3 got his legs taken out, and he was never the same again. Now we got a prototypical quarterback that's not mobile, throws, has hurt his throwing arm. So I get what you're saying, but I think he's young enough to where I think he'll bounce back. Like Aaron said, it's not going to be game one. He's going to come out and sling it like Roger. I think mid-season towards the end, he's going to start feeling better, and I think next year is when Colts fan can be like, all right, Andrew Luck's back.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I hope he doesn't come back trying to sling it, because usually that's how he gets hurt. People like that get hurt.
Because I think he did try to come back last
He did.
year,
He tried.
didn't he?
No, he didn't play at all last year.
I thought, I don't know, maybe I read something
He decided
last year.
not to. He got smart and had the surgery because they
Yeah.
were talking about
That's
a training
right.
camp last year,
That's
and then
right.
he decided to go through with the surgery.
That's right. So I'm hoping he comes back, but we'll see. It's always a good question. Big debate, obviously, with the anthem. They're trying to decide whether people are going to be suspended or whatever if you don't stand during the anthem. Right now, it's a complete standstill because obviously the Players Association of the NFL are saying we can do what we want. It's protesting. And the NFL is saying we don't want that in our league. It's looking like they're going to leave it up to
The owners.
the owners. The Dolphins had a big thing.
Yep.
Punishments could go up to suspensions. It's like a tricky subject. Like what we understand, it's a business, but at the same time, like part of America is the ability to protest.
Yep.
So whether you agree or disagree with how they're protesting, that's not what America's about. It's about the ability to protest.
Freedom of speech.
Exactly. So it's weird. It's a tricky situation for me to judge on. I mean, I personally wouldn't kneel.
No.
But I would still protest. Like, there's still other ways to protest other than kneeling. It's just, it seems like kneeling ruffles the most feathers. I don't think it leads to results at all. I don't think it does. I think if
Does
anything,
nothing.
it splits the nation into saying, this guy's kneeling, I'm on this side, or this person shouldn't be kneeling, I'm on his side. It shouldn't be about that. We're forgetting what the subject is. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's just...
They just need to do what they did last year, the last half of last year. If you wanted to protest or you didn't want to stand for the national anthem, you sit in the locker room until the national anthem's done.
Yeah, which is fair.
Plain and simple.
I mean, and then
The only reason you want to do it on national TV is because at that point is you just want to stir up trouble.
Yeah.
So if you want to kneel, I get it. Like we talked about, we just said it's America. It's freedom of speech. You can do what you want. So it's a tricky subject.
Yeah.
But you know what? If the owners don't want it, then tell your players if you don't want to. If you want to kneel or you don't want to stand, stay in the locker room till it's done.
Yeah, and it's fair. I mean, the owners should get to decide, and if the players don't want to agree with the owners, then they have the ability to get traded, ask for a trade. There's options. It's an extreme, yeah, but that's part of protesting. If you're going to put your money where your mouth is, you better be prepared to leave. You know what I mean? It's the way it is.
Because we got a couple followers, so I'm going to ask for the people that are following us.
Yeah.
Give us some comments. What do you think about the protest? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Yeah.
And then our producers will let us know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I would love to get your guys' opinion on this.
Yeah, it's a hot button issue right now, and it's going to be all year, the next couple of years. So it's definitely exciting. I want to see where it goes, like if it's going to actually lead to results or if it's just going to keep.
I think it's just going to keep going.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's going to do
You
nothing.
want me to just say it?
Yeah.
It comes up? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, it hasn't.
Can we talk about my topic I want to talk about? Because I
Yes,
think it's,
of course.
it's crazy,
Of course.
and I think you'll agree with me.
Yes.
The fact that the Atlanta Falcons do not want to sign Julio
Thank you.
Jones.
That was on my list.
Like, I get it. Like, I've been watching ESPN, I've been watching First Take, and I get their comments saying, you know...
What did Chris say?
I think nothing. I don't even know why I'm here.
Okay.
Anyways, back to the story.
He's the worst number one fan ever.
I've been watching ESPN, and I get what they're saying, because they're saying, you know what? On a rookie deal, you have no say in how much money you get.
Yeah.
You take the rookie deal, that's it. Julio Jones, 2 years ago, signed the extension. He should honor that extension, and in 2 more years, go for a bigger money.
Yeah.
I agree to that to a certain extent, just because you made the decision to sign that 4-year extension.
Yeah.
You knew what you were getting. You knew how much money you were getting. You need to suck it up and deal with it. But you take Julio off Atlanta.
It's garbage.
Julio Jones, in my mind, is probably in my mind, he's the second best receiver in the league.
To
It goes
AB.
Antonio Brown,
Yes.
Julio Jones, OBJ.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So I get you guys, Atlanta, like their rule is they don't negotiate. You play out your contract. Atlanta, you want to make the playoffs again. You need to sign this man and give him what he wants.
It's just stubborn. It's dumb and stubborn and bad business. I mean, yeah, maybe that. I don't even understand why you have an ironclad rule like that. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't mean you're.
Just the owners trying to be like, we're the owners, you're the players, you're gonna do what we want.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that. Julio's out there being the second to first best receiver in the league, doing his job better than almost anyone. He deserves money. That's what the owners, I don't think, realize. It's not like they're going out and playing a game. Yeah, but you forget about the 9 hours a day training every day, the nonstop dieting, the nonstop work, the nonstop risks they're taking. All of those things, they deserve to be paid for it. Especially if you're the best, if not the second best, in the league. That's hundreds of receivers you're better than who could be as talented, more athletic, you name it, and he's beating them. He deserves to be paid. I just think it's stupid. If you let him walk, you're an idiot. That's just like, okay, that's perfect actually. It's just like the Le'Veon thing. What do you win? What do you win out of not paying them? I don't get it. Like, okay, so they're gonna go to another team, and then you lose a huge piece of your puzzle that you don't just find Le'Veons. You don't just find Julio Jones.
Nope.
You don't find OBJs. You don't find ABs. You don't find those. They're once in a lifetime players.
Yep.
It'd be like saying, JJ, we're not going to negotiate with you, even though you carried this team on your back, literally. Like, you got to. If you let Julio walk, Atlanta, you're the dumbest team ever. They paid Matt Ryan, what was it, $150 million, something insane. You pay Matt Ryan that money, but you can't pay the guy who's catching most of those football touchdown passes?
I'm going to do a shout-out real quick. Julio, if you're not happy in Atlanta, same division, there's a pretty good receiver on that squad. I got him, like, top 5 in my book. I'm a little biased. But,
Mike Evans?
yeah.
He's a beast.
He's great. So, I mean, if Atlanta won't give you what you want, like, we'll give it to you.
Yeah, the Bucks will.
We'll take it.
Detroit definitely will. We got the money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to Detroit because that place sucks. I'd go to Tampa because it's nice there, but they'll at least pay you in Detroit. No problem.
You'll
We
get
pay-
paid. I mean, and you play in a dome. It's not like you play outside.
This is true. That
You
is
just
true.
got to avoid getting shot going to your car.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. But, yeah, honestly, if Julio leaves, at this point he should. Just like Le'Veon. That's a perfect segue.
Le'Veon, you too, big guy.
Le'Veon's leaving next year.
He's gone.
He said he's gonna. They couldn't. He wanted the last offer was
$70 million for 4 years.
something like that. I don't think they ever released how much he wanted, but I think it was $100 million contract.
It was
he wanted.
it was over $100 million,
And-
but they offered him 70 for a 4-year deal, and he turned it down.
And the thing is I don't understand why they didn't pay him. I know they have AB, but
AB gets open because of the run game. There's
Thank you.
coverages for the running. They got to watch Le'Veon, and that's why he's not getting double teamed, and that's why the passing game is open. You
And-
lose that, AB, you're getting double teamed. You're great. I'm sure you'll get a couple of your catches. It'll be on the top 10 at ESPN, but you're not going to get those single coverages.
If I was AB, I would be sitting there going, take some of my money. I know that sounds rash, but that's how my mind works. I'd rather get a ring than get an extra, $20 million or whatever. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how I would work.
A lot of players
But
feel that way.
you also got to remember, Roethlisberger's about to leave. He's only got maybe a year or two left.
I give him 2.
There's a huge amount of money you're about to lose in a huge core to your offense. You need Le'Veon. I don't understand their logic. They're going to lose Le'Veon next year. Well, Roethlisberger's probably going to retire with him. And then you're going to have AB and Juju, who are amazing, 2 great, amazing receivers, with no one to throw to and no one to run the ball. Okay, Steelers, so what's going to happen? Mike Tomlin's going to get fired because there's no way they're winning more than 6 games without Le'Veon. There's no way. I'm sorry. They don't have the same Steelers defense they once did.
No, the Iron Curtain's gone.
No.
Or Steel Curtain. Oh, my bad.
Just to to not pay Le'Veon is the most stubborn thing any franchise has ever done. They paid. I don't understand why. Le'Veon, maybe it's because he got popped for weed a couple times. He hasn't done that in 2 years.
No.
He's clearly figured out around the system. He's fine. Pay him. I don't get it. You could have paid him $110 million for 5 years. They wouldn't do it. Why? They would only buffer it. Was $78 million for 4 years.
Yeah.
Why? Pay him for 5. He's going to finish his career as a Steeler. He'll retire, get his money like he earned. I just don't get it.
Le'Veon, got a team. It's warm.
And they'll pay you.
And we'll pay you.
That's the main thing. He wants to get paid. He's going to go, and that's what sucks
You know
the
what's going to be
most.
scary?
When he goes to a really shitty team.
No, when he goes to the Patriots next year.
Stop it. They won't pay him. The Patriots are worse than any other team. The Patriots barely
I feel like
to
they
pay.
will. They need a run game. They haven't had a run game. They've been relying on Tom.
I would love to see that. I just don't see that happening. It would be like upgrading from, I can't remember. Who was the great... He was a short pass receiver when they won the Super Bowl last year. Or 2 years ago.
The Patriots?
Yeah, it was a Patriots guy. He has like 80 concussions. I can't remember.
Oh, Welker.
Yes. Remember how good Welker was?
Wes Welker.
He would be like a super upgraded version of Welker in that scenario.
I mean, there's going to be an opening in upstate New York. I mean...
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
Go replace LaShawn. They'll pay
I'd be
you.
super jealous. I'm not going to lie.
That's actually a good segue, too. We're killing it with the segues. Legal analyst came out and said the likelihood of McCoy being set up, he had some percentage. It was like 60%. I don't know. I don't even know how they come up with the percentage, but a lot of people are saying that it was a setup. I mean, we'll see. It's obviously going to go. It's either going to go somewhere or it's going to get settled out of court. Usually it gets settled out of court with settlement, like hush money.
Yep.
I still don't know what happens there, though. If I'm not mistaken, Greg Hardy had the same situation, and he was still suspended, I think.
Yeah.
So, will McCoy get suspended for this, or is this...
He better get suspended. If my quarterback gets suspended for not coming to the NFL and telling him the issue for 3 games, and McCoy beats the fuck out of his girlfriend and his dog, and allegedly, and his... this kid.
Yeah, his
He
kid.
better get suspended something.
Yeah.
Or I'm going after Goodell.
I agree 100% because the NFL, and only in the NFL terms, I don't think anyone should be punished if they're not proven guilty in a court of law. But the NFL doesn't work that way. They just punish people because of hearsay.
Goodell.
Thus, the fucking Brady thing. Brady got punished when nothing was solved. It didn't make any sense. But anyway, if LaShawn doesn't get suspended, which I think he will, I think that's
He's getting suspended
so
at least 3
hypocritical.
games.
And if he comes out to be innocent, yeah, that's a shame, but that's how the NFL systems ran. You know what I mean? Like
Goodell's just trying to make people think I'm in charge.
Goodell's the biggest piece of shit on the planet. You can quote me on that. I don't know who would quote me. What else? I was going to talk a little bit. Brady, Belichick, Kraft. They still hate each other. 3 of them. So
They say they hate each other.
the only point I'm going to make is we are going to witness the end of the Patriots era in the next 2 years. It's going to go away.
3.
Gronk retires next year. I guarantee it.
Gronk retires and goes to wrestling.
Goes to WWE for sure. Mojo's already setting him up for it. He's going.
Hopefully he doesn't team up with Mojo, otherwise
He's
his
gonna-
career is going to go to shitter.
They're going to be like Hype Bros 2.0 or some shit.
Hopefully that security guard doesn't work there anymore.
Yeah, that bitch was tough. But yeah, I just think we're witnessing the end of an era soon. I really do. I think Belichick's gonna. I don't think Belichick will retire, but he might leave teams. I could see that.
I bet you he retires.
I don't know, man. I don't think in my
Would
opinion.
you want to coach after because it's not like he's only been coaching Tom Brady era. He coached the Browns. He coached on the Jets. Like, he was all over the place.
Yeah.
How are you going to be able to, like, you've been with Brady for, like, what, 16 years, 17 years? Like,
I'm gonna in this example. It's 2 different sports, but Phil Jackson. Okay, Phil Jackson had the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan, under his sleeves. What? We went over this. I pleaded my whole fifth on
sorry, I'm
this.
just not used to you saying that. Keep going.
He had him for six rings, never made a Game 7. Literally the greatest 6 years a coach could ever have. And he retired. I think he retired for a few years, and he found Kobe. And he found Kobe and Shaq. And then
Kobe first, then
riddled off 5 rings.
5. Yep.
Yep. Is it 5 rings or 6? No, it's 5 rings.
5 rings.
Riddle off 5. What Belichick will be brought back into coaching when he finds a new Brady. When he replaces
I don't think
Brady,
we'll see another Brady.
no, but just like Kobe wasn't Michael, but you could still find one of the greatest. You know what I mean? You could still find a greatness and make that work.
Peterman.
He did find the greatest big man of all time, Shaq. He found him. So, there's other options. He could. Belichick, I don't think, is going to retire. He's only like 58 or something. He's young.
But it looks like he's 82.
I know, it's because he's so stressed all the time. But I don't think Belichick's done. I think he's going to pick up a team somewhere else. But I do think the Pats are going to start sucking in about 2 years.
The end of the era, the Patriot era is coming to an end within the next 2 to 3 years max. So everyone in that division should start getting a little more excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a fan, you should, because it does suck seeing the Pats every year. But speaking of that, Super Bowl 53. All the betting odds say it's going to be a rematch. Eagles, Pats again.
Nah, see?
No.
I think the Eagles they're gonna be good, but I don't think they're gonna be as good.
I think the Rams are sleepers, man. That defense is
What
going to...
was my pick?
Dude, the Rams are going to be nasty. I want Green Bay, but I keep hearing all these whispers about how Green Bay's staff is struggling and shit. I want Green Bay and I want the Steelers, but the Steelers are not going to make it with Le'Veon leaving. I just think Le'Veon's going to half-ass it. He wants money. Why would he risk getting injured? That's going to affect it. You know what I mean? So I don't think the Steelers are in the running anymore. Pats are always in the running, but you're right, they have no running game. And I don't know how good Gronk is going to be.
What wins championships in the NFL?
Run games and defenses. Mainly defenses.
Who's got a gnarly defense?
The Rams. Well, on paper they do.
On paper they do, but I still think they're gonna. I think the Rams. Everyone's getting really hyped up on the Rams. I'm hyped up on the Rams. But
I can't wait to see them play.
I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be mid-season before they all get. Like, look at going back to basketball when LeBron went to the Heat.
Yeah,
they sucked the first half of the season.
Really bad.
So
chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the Rams are gonna come out and start like 7-8-0. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna lose a couple right off the bat. I think the chemistry's gonna go, but I'm telling you right now, that team, I would not be surprised if they make the Super Bowl.
Playoff team.
All Goff has to do is not turn over the ball.
Yep, very like Alex Smith. He has to pull in Alex Smith. Just protect the ball, and your defense will kill it. On paper, if they're half as good as their team on paper, they'll be the best defense in the league.
Yes.
Like, better than Broncos. Remember how good the Broncos D was with Von Miller and Wolf and all of them?
Yep.
It's going to be that good, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm excited to see the Rams play. They're going to be sacking people like crazy.
It's going to be gnarly.
Deshaun Watson is going to be ready for training camp, coming off of an ACL injury, I believe.
His second ACL injury.
Second ACL injury, which is exciting because Watson had the most touchdowns ever in his first 6 games.
It was gnarly. But I told everyone, like, when I was watching in college football, I was like, Watson is going to be a beast in this league.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't really buy it. I thought he was going to not be like Manziel, but...
You got it right.
I did. I thought
what?
About it.
Mark that on the calendar.
But I don't think he's going to be like that. I thought he was going to be like that, but
no.
Without the background.
I knew he was going to be a beast.
And he was. He had, I think, 13 touchdowns in 6 games. Insane. Just insane. Darrelle Revis retires after 11-year
career. Good for him. He needed to, because I'm a big fan of Darrelle Revis. Not even because he came to my team for a year.
Yeah,
I just liked Darrelle. Yeah, I just liked Darrelle Revis, and I'm sorry, the last 2 years, it was sad. Well, it was hard to watch.
Because cornerback, it's all about speed.
Yes, and he didn't have it anymore.
No, the Young Bucks are too athletic, too fast.
Good for him. He's going to go down as one of the greatest corners to ever play the game.
Perfect. Do you think he's going to be a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
You do?
I think he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
That's the big argument. Is he going to be? I think he is. I mean, I think there was a really cool article about it. Revis Island was a real place, man. Like, nobody would throw. Like, you remember Richard Sherman had like a year where it was Sherman Island, and nobody threw on the right side of the field.
No.
Darrelle had that for like 4 years.
Yep.
That's insane. Like, imagine shutting down an entire half of it. It was crazy.
In my mind, he's a first ballot Hall of Fame. He should get in his first year of eligibility.
Yeah, I think he's one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time. And I think in 5 years, when it is Hall of Fame time, they're going to see that.
Yep.
I'm going to finish on this for NFL. I figured it was fair.
This was heartbreaking. This was hard to watch. I feel so bad for everything I said. I'm sorry.
Jim Kelly is an absolutely amazing human being, and we shit on the Bills all the time. But this dude lost 4 Super Bowls in a row and never gave up. And then he has, his third bout with cancer or something like that?
Third?
He lost his son.
All in jaw, right?
Yeah, so he's had 3 bouts of cancer. He lost his son, Hunter. Just so many. A single of those would break most men. This dude's still going, and he actually. I didn't see that it was called this until now, but it's called the Perseverance Reward. That's the most perfect way to explain Jim Kelly.
The Jimmy V Award.
It's amazing how strong this man is and how he can continue to go out there and inspire and be strong when everyone else would be totally okay with him breaking down. You know what I mean? He has every excuse to be like, fuck this life. Like, I've been royally screwed, and he still remains grateful.
If you ever meet him, because I've met him like a number of times, he is the sweetest, kindest man, and he just is just so nice. Yes, he had his faults, and everybody has. His daughter and his wife addressed it in their book, and he's dealt with it. But he sits there and he gives you, you feel like when you're talking to him that you're the only person in the room. He gives you that time. He always, wishes you well. He's a great, great man. And it is not, no one deserves it.
I will tell you right now to our 3 viewers, I will never shit on Jim Kelly again because I watched that speech and I was like, oh my God.
Dude, it's funny you say it feels like he's talking to you because that speech, it felt like he was talking to every person in their screen. And that is such an amazing thing to do. Like, it reminded me of, I cannot believe I'm blanking on his name. I'm so sorry. Do you remember when he passed away a couple years ago?
Stuart Scott?
Yes. When Stuart Scott had a speech.
That's why we're recording.
Yeah, that's right.
What? Yeah, I know. I'm watching.
What is he saying?
Well, he said he's cool. He's a cool player, but he's old. And then he said his speech was amazing.
Yeah, his speech was amazing, and it reminded me of Stuart Scott, which is one of the great. I play that speech maybe once a week. I love that speech.
I love Stuart
And
Scott.
this was on that level of it just spoke to you on such a human level. It wasn't about football. It wasn't about accomplishments. It wasn't about anything.
It was about family.
It was about family and just pushing through that stuff. It was amazing. And
adversity.
honestly, like, if that's the heart and soul behind the drunken animals of the Buffalo Bills Mafia, I'm fine with that because that's amazing.
If you've ever been to, because
we got a drunken Buffalo Bill fan. Everybody, Aaron Levy. Go ahead. What do you got to say?
The first game, he always takes out the flag. He leads the charge, they call it, and he runs around the stadium. Your head hurts at how much they're screaming. Like, they adore him in that stadium. He is the king of Buffalo. You don't understand. Like, they all pretty much bow to the master when he's in the area.
Which he deserves it.
Yeah.
I mean,
for him, to me, it just says a lot. He found out he had cancer the last time. He had an event for his Hunter's Hope Foundation, and for that, I don't even know how much money he's raised. It's a crazy amount. I've been to a ton of the events, and it's great to see. He pushed off doing the announcement to the press because he said he wanted it to be about the event. He didn't want it to be about the cancer. So he did the event. 2 days later, announced that he had cancer again.
That's the kind of person he is. He puts everyone before him. And that's what was crazy about that speech. It's like, dude, he was winning the award, which I know he doesn't care about the award, but he used it literally to say, this moment here is an example of what you guys can do to help people. Like, it's a podium. Like, what you're being famous in sports and all that shit, it's a microphone to help the world. So cool. Yep. I just thought that was really cool, and I had to talk about it because I watched it. We're obviously from the Buffalo area. We always shit on them, but we can't shit, not on the Bills.
We're going to shit on the Bills. We ain't going to shit on Jim Kelly anymore.
Jim Kelly's speech, if that didn't hit you in some way, you're inhuman. I thought it was great, and if you're a Bills fan, you should be really proud of that, All right, a little bit of MMA, and then we'll go into WWE, and then we'll wrap it up. The only thing about MMA, which goes right into WWE, is Cormier says he's going to put Lesnar to sleep. I hope he does. I hope Cormier goes in there and beats the living piss out of Brock, which I think he will. My expert opinion, I don't think Brock has a shot.
I'm one of those guys when you pay for a pay-per-view because it's usually about $100, and you get it like a first-round knockout. It's upsetting. Yeah. I would not be upset at all. Like if Brock comes in there and Cormier just like literally 2 seconds in, wham, and Brock just drops like a sack of bricks, it'd be worth it.
It'd be so happy. It would just be amazing.
Because then he'd try to crawl back to WWE.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I think that's perfect segue. I think that, yeah, we've been killing it with segues. I think that Heyman said, we actually went to Raw in Buffalo
We'll talk
this
about
Monday. But Heyman said at that Raw that his plan is to mix the belts. He wants to be Universal Champ and UFC Champ. I think it's a load of shit. But that is an actual possibility, I suppose. I don't think it makes the Universal title any more prestigious. I think it just makes it more fake, if that makes sense. I don't think he has a shot. I hope Lesnar gets destroyed and slinks back into his home in Minnesota. Yeah, I'm over Brock.
On a campus with no electricity.
And the fact that he hasn't won a fight since 2010, that's going to be 9 years. He hasn't won a fight in 9 years, and he's getting a title shot, is laughable. It makes UFC look worse than WWE, because at least WWE says scripted reality. UFC is still trying to pretend like it's not scripted. It feels scripted. They practiced the Cormier thing with Brock backstage. They practiced
You could
it.
tell because they were both laughing.
It was just a joke. Like, they made a joke out of that. For me as a wrestling fan and an MMA fan, it insulted both parts of my intelligence. Like, okay, so you guys are trying to mix these two. No, fuck that. It's supposed to be a grown man wanting to beat up another grown man because that's what grown men do. Not, let's make a big spectacle. I think it's a joke. But, enough about Brock. I don't want to talk about
we're going to
Brock.
get angry.
Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit before the podcast started. Stephanie McMahon is going to make a historic announcement. So is it bullshit or is it actually going to be something like? I think it's going to be an all-women's pay-per-view after SummerSlam. That's my guess. I know I've heard a lot of rumblings about it. I don't know how well it would go.
Not good at all. I'm sorry. Like, listen, don't get me wrong. The women's division has skyrocketed. They've done amazing things in WWE. So awesome to see it because if you've been watching wrestling as long as we have, back in the early 2000s, it was a joke. It was a bra and panty matches. All it was women running around in lingerie. So the amount of steps that the women's division has taken since is amazing, and I love it and I cheer it. But I don't know if I'm gonna get flack on this, but I'm sorry. An all women's pay-per-view, like, women are still like, you only got like maybe 4 women in that division that can put on a match.
A 4 out of 5 star match. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, they've come so far, but they're not polished yet. They still need more time. They still need more of a chance to show how good they are. I just don't know if it. We'd watch it, but I don't think it's something you'd pursue.
No.
I think it, unfortunately, only because most of the superstars are men. It's not so much that they're women, it's just all the star power is in the men's division. That's just how it is, you know? A pay-per-view without Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe and Finn Balor and AJ and all of these big stars just sounds weird. Like, it would be the biggest star on a female event would be Charlotte, I would think. And
Charlotte or Sasha.
Yeah, or Bailey. Like, there's only, like you said, 4 or 5. So I think that's going to be it. Or it's going to be Alexa versus Ronda is going to main event SummerSlam. I think that
would be cool. I'd be all right with Alexa versus Ronda main event because, like, that'd be super cool. First time women ever main event at WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be really cool. And if you could do, like, Alexa's killing it. Everyone loves Alexa. And then you put a super power with Ronda in there. Like, people are going to be excited about it.
Yeah, I would be. I'm okay with the main event being women. That never bugged me. I think that's great.
No.
I mean, main events nowadays are pretty much interchangeable. Like, so I think that'd be cool. Or it's going to be something with, like maybe a Survivor Series or who knows. But we'll see. I'm hoping it's something exciting and it's not like she shows up and it's some bullshit announcement. You know what I mean? I want it to be something.
Maybe she strips the title from Brock.
That would be awesome. That's an option because I don't think it's ever been done before.
Nope.
SummerSlam, it's looking like one of the matches is going to be a rematch between Cena and Taker because we saw it at Mania and it was like a squash match, 3 minutes or something. So I don't know. Maybe we get geared up for that. I'd want to see an actual match.
You're not going to like this.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Here we go. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I love Undertaker. He's been amazing to watch growing up. Like,
25 years.
He's amazing. I love the guy, but he needs to call it quits. Like, I feel like he's tarnishing his reputation by coming back and doing these stupid little matches. Like,
yeah, like
he did the 21 and 0?
21 and 0.
Or 25?
It was 21 and 0.
21 and 0. You lost. That was huge. Like, I still remember that WrestleMania. But you got nothing left to prove, man. Like, leave him alone.
I agree 100%.
Let him retire. Let him go off into the sunset. I'm not saying he can never come out back to the WWE. Like, Stone Cold has so much stuff to do with wrestling. Have him backstage, but you need to stop pulling the man out into the ring.
He doesn't need to wrestle.
No.
Just use his aura. Like, just create... He could still be on the show. Like, turn him American Badass and make him GM or something. Like, do something like that.
Yeah.
But I agree. It's hard to watch. But maybe, I don't know. He did get that hip surgery. He did look better. He's still not old Taker. He never will be. But at least I do kind of want to see one last full match with Cena versus Taker. That'd be cool.
Listen, I'm old school. If you're going to bring Taker out of retirement again... I want to see another person come out of retirement, like a Stone Cold, a Rock versus Undertaker.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to see The Undertaker versus this generation. Like, I want to see old school, punch you in the head. Like, I want to see, like, Taker versus, or Taker versus Kane.
I was just thinking that.
Like,
yeah.
I want to see that. Or bring, like, if you brought the Brothers of Destruction back, I'd totally watch that.
Yeah, what, versus the Bludgeon Brothers?
Yeah, that'd be so cool. But, like, if you're not going to do something like that, let the man... No puns intended. Let the man rest in peace,
Seriously.
all right? Like,
I think it's Vince. I think Vince just can't let go of the past. Like, I think that's it. I mean, there's so much talent. We don't need to be bringing back Taker. There's so much talent. I just don't get it. It looks like James Ellsworth is already done.
that's
They
good.
brought him back. He was pointless. He wasn't funny ever to me. So,
I
good.
saw a dude at work today wearing a James Ellsworth t-shirt.
He should be ashamed of himself. Oh my god! How do you even wear that in public? I would. Oh my god! I wouldn't even wear that to a WWE event. It looks like Kelly Kelly's might be returning to WWE, which I love Kelly Kelly.
There's just one diva that I'd like to see return. So.
AJ Lee.
Yep.
Yeah, I love
That's
AJ.
it. Like, I'd like to see Trish. It'd be cool to see her back again, but
Yeah,
AJ Lee comes back, her music comes on.
I'd go nuts for sure. It would be cool to see AJ because if AJ came back, Punk would probably follow.
But you're not a fan of Punk, so
not
you're not allowed to talk about
I'm
that.
not a fan of Punk, but if AJ came, Punk would come.
No,
and Roman could bury
You
him.
don't care.
I don't care. We don't
I
need
hope
him.
Punk puts him to sleep.
Okay, he probably would. If CM Punk came back, he'd be right to the top again. Last thing for this, there's two last things. One is ex-former UFC champ Cain
Yep,
Velasquez
saw that.
is joining the WWE.
So is Ronda Rousey's boyfriend.
He's yep. And ironically, Kane was the one who took the belt off of Brock, knocked his ass out. If you remember, he was the one that beat him to take the belt from him, beat his ass, knocked him out cold. So that's interesting, man. I like that. He's not going to be ready by the time. I'm sure
No.
Brock will be retired by then.
It's going to be a while before we see him.
Yeah, but it's still something to think about. And then the last thing, I can't believe I'm blanking on it. I had it. It was the Kane thing. And nothing else. But we went to Raw. That was cool.
We did go to Raw. It was a lot of fun.
It was very,
A lot
very
of fun.
cool.
We took a greenhorn to Raw with us.
Yes.
She loved it.
Yep. It was definitely cool to see the first timer just loved it. Like you get so drawn into it.
Like, listen, I love wrestling. I love watching every Monday, Tuesday. But going to, like, if you're not a wrestling fan and you get invited to a wrestling event, go to it.
Yeah.
It's a totally different world. It's really fun. Like, I get it, wrestling's fake, it's scripted, but just going to a live event, it's an absolute blast.
It's such a spectacle. You get drawn in. Like you could. That's what I love about it. It's like you could go and be like, "This is gonna be dumb," and then by the end of it, you're like you're glued to it.
Yeah,
You're just
it's a
naturally.
good time.
Yeah, it's just naturally entertaining. It's almost like it's human nature. I don't know. But it was fantastic. A lot of fun. Super cool to see we got to see all of our favorites.
Yep.
Roman.
I would have loved to see Hogan. I really wanted to see Hogan.
Yeah, Hogan. I'm sure Hogan's working on a return back. He hasn't signed anything, but that's exciting. So we will see Hogan probably SummerSlam because he helped build the Barclays Center. So wouldn't be surprised we see him back at SummerSlam. Last thing before you do your Rock speech.
How do you know I was going to do that?
No, well, you have to now. But The Rock came out and said that he wants to wrestle. He's not done.
I want to see a Rock versus Elias showdown.
He said that he said 4 people now. Elias is now in it, but it's Roman, AJ, Triple H, and Elias now.
What's your number one match there? I think me and you
Roman
agree.
all day. It's got to be Roman because of the bloodline thing. And the only way it works though is if Roman's a heel, but he naturally have to go heel. That's why I want
Yeah.
that. But that would be the
Who wins
cooler
it?
build-up. Roman. He's always going to... He's the part-timer like The Rock knows to
Yeah,
pass
but
the
it's-
torch. He's not Brock. He
Okay.
knows it's... He doesn't need the win. He's The Rock. But a better match, probably maybe one of the better matches of all time, would be The Rock versus AJ. Because AJ can put on a 5-star
Weird to
match
say that.
with a broomstick. So imagine having The Rock. So yeah, that would be my dream match, but the one that makes sense is Roman. I don't want to see Triple H. I think we've seen it.
No, it's over. I'm done with
Elias
the
would be
Triple H.
cool, but I almost would rather them have competing concerts and shit. I don't really care about
I
the
agree
match.
100%. I'd rather see Roman versus The Rock because it's just like you said, the bloodline, they're cousins. It would just be super, super cool.
Yeah, especially if Roman went heel. All he would have to do to go full-blown heel is beat up The Rock. That crowd would go ballistic on him, you know? It's just super
Easiest way to go heel, beat up The Rock.
Seriously, if you ever touch The Rock, you're immediately... Like, Rowan, remember Rowan touched him and lost...
Watch The Rock versus CM Punk.
Oh my God.
That's how CM Punk went from fan favorite to I hate you.
Yeah, in like literally a match. It was phenomenal. But anything else? I think that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, we're getting built up. It's starting to get better. SummerSlam. I actually remember the last thing. Dan O'Brien.
Did he sign?
No. They offered him a contract. He did not sign it. That's why they're pushing the Miz thing, because that might be the last time they have a chance to get it. If he signs his contract before SummerSlam, they're going to save the Miz versus...
WrestleMania?
Yes. So maybe he does leave. I doubt it. I think it's
can't
all.
see him leave.
I think he's haggling to be a part timer. I think that's the hang up. But I think he deserves it. He's like 35. He's a superstar. He doesn't need to. Seeing Daniel Bryan every day, I don't need to do that. I only need to see him once a week. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he doesn't even have to wrestle once a week. But I'm interested to see where we're going with SummerSlam. I'm excited. I'm finally starting to get excited again. And we'll see who's going to face Brock this Monday. So I think it's going to be Bobby. I think...
It's got to be Bobby.
I don't think they're going to do
We
Roman.
talked about this. Bobby was in a match. It was to see who has the rights to the Universal
I
Champion.
will
He
say
won
this,
it.
and this is a little biased, but this is what... If I was a writer, right? If I was going to write for the WWE, I wouldn't have Bobby win it because I think Bobby has the charisma of a scuba mask. I think Roman goes over on Monday. He's already getting booed, right? He goes into the match at SummerSlam. He's about to lose. The lights hit, and here comes the Shield. The Shield guarantees Roman a win.
I just got
And you
goosebumps
have
from that.
them bump fists in the middle, and they know it's for the good of the company. Bam! All three of them are back together. Roman has the title, and now Brock can go off, and he's the loser.
Get his ass beat.
Imagine
UFC.
the only way you're going to get Roman cheered at the end is if you
We've
have
seen
Dean,
it. We got teased.
you have Dean and Seth in there, and why wouldn't they help Roman? They want the belt off of Brock because they want someone to compete against. That's what I would do if I was writing it. But we'll see. I'm usually a better writer nowadays than Vince is. So yeah. So that's pretty much the gist of it. That's all the news for this week. Well, most of the good bits.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for the sports news. We'll be back with
Come on.
the nerd one. Oh my God, the Rock thing. Why don't you do your thing,
Rocky.
Rocky Maivia.
Nice shout out. 1996. Madison Square Garden.
That's right.
I watched it. So, just shout us out. I will go and see every single... I will have a Rock marathon. I will start from your very first movie, which was The Mummy 2, all the way up to...
Skyscraper.
I'm getting there. Skyscraper. You don't even gotta say her name. I've said this 100 times. Just put on your... I follow you on Instagram, alright? So you can't say you don't have a chalkboard. I follow it. And you show it on there all the time. Just Swiss Army Nerds. And for fun, you can say Swiss Army Nerds... what is this? Sports Center flagship show. Amazing. Alright? So, that's all I want.
Come on.
Just once.
Come on, Rocky.
Just once.
Support the little people.
You do it once, I'll never ask you again. That could be a lie. But I would be amazed, and it'd be awesome, so I'm just going to throw that out there.
Come on, Rocky Maivia. Come on. All right. Well, we're going to take off. We'll be back for the nerd one. See?
Pleasure.